My name's Shauna, and I normally don't come on. Well, I get on YouTube, but it's just to watch some of my favorite YouTubers. Well, one of my favorite YouTubers is Amy Trapsford, Amy's Daily Vlogs. I know there's a lot of people going after Amy right now, and I don't understand that. I really don't, because yeah, I used to follow some people that were talking about Amy. So, I'm one of those people. I'm not going to jump on a bandwagon. I want to see it for myself. So, I went over and watched a couple of Amy's videos, and I'm like, I don't understand what the problem is with her, because she's not doing nothing wrong. As a matter of fact, I applaud Amy for what she did. I really do. I love what you're doing. You give people a place to come. If they have a problem, they can come in. They can talk to anybody in that stream. You, your mods, the rest of us fans that are in there. And if they need help, we're there for each other, no matter what. And I'm proud to say that I'm part of Shine Bright Nation. And Amy, I wrote you a letter, and I told you a little bit about my situation. So I'm going to let everybody else know about my situation right now. Okay, 5 years ago, I woke up completely paralyzed from Guillain-Barré syndrome. I was sent to my local hospital. I was there in intensive care for 3 days, and then I was sent out to Ohio State University Hospital. I was down there for almost a month. They couldn't figure out what was going on with me. And then finally, the head neurologist came in. He did a spinal tap. And that's when they found out that I had Guillain-Barré syndrome. And that was what was causing the paralysis. So they started me on physical therapy down there. And then eventually I was sent back to my local hospital, to the rehab unit. I was there for over a month. And then when I came home, I was on a walker. But I still couldn't walk the best without help. So I had to have a potty chair brought in. I had home health nurse coming in. I was too much of a risk to be able to get in the shower by myself, so they did bed baths in my bed. I had physical and occupational therapy. Coming in, working with me in my home, I had to learn everything again. Riding, walking, feeding myself, everything, because I was completely paralyzed. Well, on top of the Guillain-Barré syndrome, I have fibromyalgia, lupus, and MS. So, I no longer work. I am on Social Security disability because of the nerve damage from the Guillain-Barré syndrome. I have good days and I have bad. I have a 17-year-old special needs son. My son has problems from when he was 2.5 years old. My nephew was practicing with my boyfriend at the time, pitching for that night's game, because he was going to be pitching that night in the baseball game. Well, he overthrew my boyfriend. The ball accidentally hit my son in the head. Well, when it did, he bounced off because he was sitting on my dad's trailer that he hauled his lawnmower on. And, well, I was in the swimming pool at the time, so I got out, I grabbed my son, I was making sure he was okay. But the next thing I know, my son started going into seizures. So, well, luckily my parents' house is just a couple blocks from the hospital. So I grabbed my son, threw him in the car, went running in the ER with my son, telling him that he was seizing, what happened. Local hospital couldn't get him to quit going into the seizures, so they life-flighted him out down to Children's Hospital in Columbus, here in Ohio. We get down there, they finally get the seizures to stop. We had to spend some time there, and they told me that Dylan would have probably problems because of him seizing for so long. So my son has special needs. And then he also has problems with here in our local school district. From 3rd grade to 9th grade, this child has been bullied so bad that he has tried to commit suicide 7 times that I've had to have him hospitalized on. So I ended up having to change schools, everything. He now goes to a charter school near here, and he's doing wonderful. And Gallion, he was failing. Honestly, I would go in and talk to principals, teachers, 3 different superintendents that they've had here in our local school district, and nobody wanted to do anything to help this child. The last time I got a call from the school counselor at the high school telling me that Dylan was suicidal and that they had already called community counseling in. So I get to the school, not once did I ever yell. I was sitting in the counselor's office, my son's sitting with me. The doctor from community counseling had not got there yet. All I did was look at this lady, same voice I'm using right now. I said, why is it nobody in this town wants to help my son? I got back, Miss Bates. If you don't settle down, we're going to call the police and have you removed from our building. Well, at that time, the doctor from community counseling, she didn't know I was outside her door, and he stepped in. He said, why are you being like this towards his mother? She's not yelling at you. She just asked you a question. I'm like, thank God finally somebody seen it, but I was threatened to have the cops remove me from the building. And luckily the doctor was standing behind me and heard it. The superintendent, the last meeting I had with our school superintendent here in town over this situation, he called for the resource officer to come because he said he didn't know how I was going to react. Now there was the school superintendent, the school principal, the assistant principal, and 2 male teachers. All these are males in this room, and he called the resource officer. And at this time, I was still walking with my walker because he didn't know how I was going to react. Really? And when they're talking to me about my son, if I try to say anything, the resource officer, which was Officer Sterling, she's no longer on the police force now. If I try to say anything, she'd tell me, Miss Bates, shut up and let him talk. Excuse me? This is my child. I'm just asking questions. But I was told to shut up and let them talk. At the end of our little meeting, as they said, they asked me if everything was okay. I'm like, no. Officer Sterling looks at my son and she asks him, she says, are you suicidal? And he answered her, he said, no, but I have been in the past. She's like, are you on medication? And I was like, yeah, I am now. Did you have a plan on what to do? Yeah, I did. Oh, we gotta take him up to the hospital and have him medically cleared. He can't go back to school. So she put my kid in handcuffs and shackles in the back of a police cruiser. Took us up to the hospital. When we get there, and the doctor finally comes in the room, he's like, what are you here for? And when I told him, and Dylan told him how he answered the questions, he's like, oh, I don't know why you're here. Let me go get your paperwork. You're good. You can go. So a friend of mine had just transferred her daughter down to the school that my son goes to now. because of a bullying situation here at our local high school, which is really bad. And I called down to the state thing here in town, educational board. And I was told, well, Miss Bates, as long as they have a policy for bullying in place, there's nothing we can do. We can't make them enforce it. Excuse me, you can't make them enforce it. He was failing here in town. I mean, F's. D's and F's. This child was doing horrible. My child is an AB student now that he's went to this other school. And the lady that runs the charter school, she is so awesome. And when we went through the day that I went down to sign him up and we were going through our tour, she looked at me, she goes, I worked in the child prisons. I seen the bad of the bad. She goes, and I'm going to tell you right now, there's not one of these kids in this school, I don't care how big they are, I'm afraid to go up against. And I don't tolerate the bullying in my school. And she don't. And like I said, my son is thriving down there. But you're going to threaten a disabled woman and her child that's already suicidal? I wouldn't even recommend anybody to go to our local high school. Nobody. So yeah, I have learned a lot with Dylan's situation on how to deal with the bullying. I have learned a lot of what it's like to live with a bipolar, a schizophrenic tendencies child. I have learned what it's like to live with a special needs child. I have went from being able to do everything for myself to be able to do nothing for myself and have to learn it all over again. I met someone, I thought they were the right person. No, we got married on Valentine's Day. I don't know if I can't remember if I already said it or not, but when he moved up here, I told him, I live on Social Security disability. I do well enough to take care of my son and I. There's no way that I can take care of another person. Oh no, I want to come up there, you're my queen. I want to take care of you and make sure you have everything you need. Okay, but you're going to have to work. I got a job. Burger King here in town. Oh, they only would give me 3 hours a couple of days a week, a day. I can't make my car payment on that. Okay. Got a job at the hospital on housekeeping. Worked one day. It's too stressful. I can't do that with my nerves. I want to try for disability Social Security. Okay, what's wrong with you? I have osteoarthritis. Well, like I said, I used to work in pain management. I'm like, you can try, but I doubt you'll get it for that. And if you don't, you're going to have to work. Well, he tried, and of course he got denied, but he didn't want to work, so he packed up his stuff and went back to Texas to take care of the lady he was taking care of before he came up here. So he left, he's gone. In 2012, I lost my mother. She was my best friend in this world. And there's not a day that goes by that I don't wish I had my mom back. I get good news about something, I pick up the phone. She's the first person I want to call, and I'm like, can't call my mom no more. She's not there to call. So I go out to her gravesite and talk to her. If your parents are still here, make sure you let them know you love them. because, trust me, I would give anything just to say I love you one more time to her. But I wanted to come on here. I didn't mean to cry, guys, but I wanted to come on here and at least let you know who I am, my story. I'm going to start trying to do more videos, but I also wanted to do this video to tell Amy that she's awesome. I am so glad I found her channel through other people that were an our boy and Amy, but you know, so I quit their channels and I do follow Amy, and I think Amy is awesome. And I'm so proud of you for what you're doing. Amy Propsky, you have a heart of gold. And I don't know why they're attacking you the way they do. I really don't. Because like I said, I'm not someone to just jump on a bandwagon. I came to your channel. I watched your videos. And that's when I made my own decision to quit following these people and follow you. Because I love what you're doing with Shine Bright Nation. I love what Shine Bright Nation stands for. And I am proud to say that I'm part of Shine Bright Nation. So, you know what, guys? With everything I've been through, I'm still holding my head up. And I'm still smiling. So, you know what? Keep shining, Shine Bright Nation.